I think after today, I'm probably going to be done with the internet troubleshooting for a really long time. Mainly because I tried to get the other router swapped in, and my internet was down for like 5 hours for like no good reason at all. It finally got up at like 11. I was like, you know what? Since it's up, I might as well just try swapping out the routers because my old one doesn't really like connecting to my DS. And I was streaming for like 6 hours and I only got 4 games in, and none of them were really terrific. So I'm going to see if this new one does the trick. Speaking of, I guess, games that we tried to take at streams, this one was against YuseiTheSynchroHero. Took this one, I think, about 2 weeks ago. It's a quick one. It's an enjoyable one. I'll explain little things here and there about the match, and we'll go ahead and play that back right now. Because, I mean, that's what you do in a narration. You explain little things here and there about the match. But I guess we decided to bring, like, a stuffed tier thing going on. Looking at it, we don't really have anything too defined. He was like, my team's going to be kind of random. I'm like, nasty plot Persian seems pretty random. So I decided to bring one of those for no good reason at all. But he's going to go ahead and lead with a Porygon Z. I'm going to go ahead and lead with a Gengar. This is my sub-disable set. Now, I'm going to go ahead and sub and see what he wants to do. If he does go for the Dark Pulse, then I can disable it next turn. And, you know, get a Focus Blast off next turn, depending. Thankfully, he does not turn out to be Scarf. That would have been pretty dangerous on the first turn. Would have been valuable information to have, but I do value my Gengar. So, you know, sub takes the hit. I figure I might as well go for Focus Blast. Interesting fact that I want to mention, we had to recreate this match 4 times. The only times that Focus Blast missed were the first time and this one. So it was literally a perfect recreation right down to what happened. I mean, you know, barring min-max. But the fact that I ended up missing Focus Blast when it mattered, go figure. Game Freak, I hate you. Anyways, I'm going to bring Victini in. I figure I'm faster. I might as well go for a Fire Blast. Probably would have been better to just go for a Psychic, but Fire Blast is the stronger of my 2 moves. I know he does have a Vaporeon. He does have a Mence, so take either one. But if I can get a burn on Mence when it comes in, or just a burn on just about anything, I really don't care. Psychic definitely would have been safer, but it would have hit for, you know, less strength. But looking at it, if I'd had gone for the Psychic, 2 Psychics instead of a Fire Blast and a Thunder, or actually no, if I went for a Psychic and a Thunder as opposed to a Fire Blast and a Thunder, would have killed, wouldn't have gotten Toxic, you know how that goes. But I don't really mind too much that I'm Toxic. You'll see in a couple turns that it really doesn't come too big into play. But he's going to Protect, see what I want to do. I don't want to miss my Thunder, since it only has 77% with Victory Star. So I might as well just fire off another Psychic, go from there. If I'm not mistaken, he might actually just leave this thing into die, bring in his Galley next turn, you know, let Poison rack up. And if his Galley is the kind of Galley that I think it is, it's probably packing Shadow Sneak. Since Toxic is racking up, it'll bring me down to the point where he can take me out with one of those. So he goes into it. I don't want to switch out on the off chance that he's just trying to scare me out with Shadow Sneak and bluff it. That way I can just go for a Fire Blast. But he does have it, you know, no harm, no foul. It also lets me scout out to see if he's a Life Orb build or anything of the sort. I do say that he is Life Orb. He didn't set up or anything like that. So I'm going to go into Cobalion. I want to go for the Iron Head. It would have been pretty bad if I actually got the flinch, because I totally forgot that they have Steadfast. But I'm actually looking to take advantage of Gallade's lower defense and its Spec D, and you know, potentially fodder this thing out. But he actually switches out to Sand Slash. Kind of gives me a bit of an advantage here, since I can go out to Ludicolo, who actually threatens it out with both of its stabs. So Sand Slash has no reason to stay in here at all after it sets up the rocks. Which means I'm going to get a free turn to set up my weather. He won't want to risk me going for the Giga Drain or the Hydro Pump. So I guess he goes out to Porygon Z, possibly a switch fodder. Download's the wrong thing, since Ludicolo does have a higher Spec D naturally in defense. So set up the Rain. Manual Rain and Swift Swim is A-okay. I'm only going to get it for like 5 turns anyway. But I'm running a Life Orb set. So Life Orb Hydro Pump thankfully doesn't miss, first off. Second off, it's going to clean out that Porygon and just about anything that doesn't resist. He does have Immense. I'm pretty sure he didn't really want to risk bringing that in immediately, though, since I am going to be fast. He's probably going to want to stall out the weather first. So it brings in Roserade, obviously very bulky looking at it, since that is a Life Orb Ice Beam. Takes it really well, so he's going to fire off a Giga Drain. I don't know what he's invested in, but he takes it pretty well. So another Ice Beam is not going to be able to kill him off, and I'm actually running myself pretty dry before the the weather's actually going to run out. So he goes into Gallade, predicting the Ice Beam. I have no reason to over-predict. If I wanted to go for the Giga Drain, I very well could have, but I would have looked like a stupid idiot. Knowing that Ice Beam wouldn't have 2-hit KO'd, and if I went for Giga Drain on a Roserade, then okay, I'm retarded. So he fires up a Shadow Sneak, surprisingly does not kill, but then again, it's not Stab. He's not boosted other than Life Orb. And I don't know, I had a decent amount of health left. It wasn't super effective or anything. but everything dies on the field this turn. It's a double down, and the weather goes away. So, fresh start here. He's going to go ahead and bring in Sand Slash. If I'm not mistaken, I choose now to bring in my Persian. I don't know, it could have been pretty risky. Then again, bringing Persian, this kind of Persian in the first place was really, really risky. Someone asked me, why don't you have Swift and Hidden Power Fighting? I was thinking about it, and I was like, Ghosts. Plain and simple, just Ghosts. They'll wall my entire set. So instead, I have Swift and Water Pulse. Having Water Pulse on there is nice in case you want to get the confusion, since you'll be faster than a lot of things anyway. If I'm not mistaken, that does benefit from Technician, and that's why I have it on there as well. Plus, it lets me take out the Sand Slash in one hit because super effective damage and whatnot. So I take the Earthquake. I'm going to be able to take them out with a Water Pulse. The fact that I have lefties over Life Orb is actually going to come into play here in a little bit. But I like lefties because I'm running sub. It'll usually scare out a lot of things thinking that I have fake out, so I'll get a free sub, plot behind the sub, and then just go from there. But it didn't really work out in this scenario. I'm just explaining, why I happen to have those two. But I sub up thinking, I don't know what I was thinking, to be honest. I kind of wanted to scout out what he was going to do. But that could have been pretty dangerous, especially if he decided, to start Dragon Dancing up on the spot. But I see that he's got Life Orb. He's got Life Orb on like half his team. He's like me. But I go for the Swift, and it does a disappointingly large amount to the point where it doesn't kill. If he'd have gotten a little bit more Life Orb damage, he would have taken himself out. And that sucks, because Nasty Plot Persian almost got 2 kills this game, and I am not disappointed with how much it did to, just a regular men's. But that's a double down as well, if I'm not mistaken. Plenty of double downs lately. But he's got Roserade, and I've got Cobalion, and I figure, I can just go for the Iron Head. I won't flinch him, more than likely, but he'll probably just end up putting me to sleep. I can go to Honchkrow from there. Or if he's going to go on the offensive, I can probably take a Hidden Power Fire, except for the fact that that HP is draining a little bit too much, and I don't know what's with him and getting crit Hidden Power Fires on me, but that's the reason I lost one of the games against them. So I'm like, alright, I'm kind of hosed, and he's like, no, you're not. I'm like, why not? Why not? Tell me. And I was like, you can put me to sleep. But it turns out that he's actually slower than me, which is why I didn't go for the Sucker Punch. I figure I might as well go for an attacking move in case he misses. But it turns out he's a really, really bulky Roserade, and that actually ends up costing him the game. They're leaving me with a very narrow 1-0 win. Kind of a short game, but if you guys enjoyed it, go ahead and leave a like, rating, comment, subscribe, do your thing. Kind of giving you guys a short game, since I don't know if I mentioned at the beginning of the video, but I swapped out my new router for an older model. And I kind of want to see if that's going to be able, to support battling from in my room, because it's got an external antenna on it as opposed to the other one that would drop the connection like every 2 minutes. If it works, I'll probably be streaming tomorrow in the morning, do another European-friendly stream. I'll try to do more of those more often, since I'm kind of running low on material. I didn't really want to throw this out at the beginning of the week, but here you go. And I think that'll do it for me. I think it's like one of my first videos in a while that has been below 9 minutes. So I'll just leave you guys with this. Those of you that came from Blame Truth's channel, I understand there's like 300 or something of you. I don't even know. But I guess welcome. I do this, 5 days a week. I do picture-in-picture Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I do regular things with just... where is it? Where was it? It was like right there. I do just this on the entire screen Tuesday and Thursday, so you're welcome to check that out. And that'll do it out of me. So speaking of which, I'll see you guys tomorrow.